You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
It's been an interesting weekend in Gujarat for political observers. In a surprising twist, BJP leader Bhupendra Patel was named as the new Gujarat Chief Minister just a day after his predecessor Vijay Rupani signed off from the post. Patel, who's a first-time MLA from Gujarat's Ghatlodiya seat, took his oath as the CM in the presence of Home Minister Amit Shah on 13 September, while Rupani is a fresh addition to the string of BJP Chief Ministers who've resigned over the past few months. After tendering in his resignation, Rupani told the media that it's in the nature of the BJP to change the role of karyakartas depending on the need of the party. But what are the possible needs that triggered such a decision in Gujarat? The change of guard that comes a year ahead of the state assembly elections is also raising speculations around why the party high command overlooked Gujarat Deputy Chief Minister Nitin and Union Minister for Health Mansukh Mandaviya, who were believed to be the frontrunners for the post, only to pick a lesser-known leader like Bhupendra Patel as a CM. What purpose does it serve for the BJP? To dig deeper into these questions, we spoke to senior journalist Mahesh Langa, who's a senior assistant editor at The Hindu in Gujarat. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. And I'm your host, Shorbury. Barely an hour after addressing an event of the Patidar community along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vijay Rupani, who's the second BJP CM to complete a full term in Gujarat after Modi, submitted his resignation on 11 September. While the decision to pick this soft-spoken, low-profile, non-Patidar candidate to replace the former Chief Minister Anandiben Patel was itself quite surprising, his sudden exit was also a little startling, considering that only early in August, BJP Gujarat Unit President C.R. Patil had said that Rupani would be the CM face for the next polls. Yet the untimely resignation wasn't entirely unexpected. Rather, what did come out of the blue for many is Bhupendra Patel's appointment as the new Chief Minister despite some heavyweights contending for the post. But before we dive into who the new Gujarat CM is and what this change of leadership indicates, let's first look at what reasons possibly led to Rupani's ouster. Although electorally the BJP has fared well under Rupani, several factors ranging from the Patidar agitation to party infighting to anti-incumbency and COVID mismanagement during the second wave had already set off a buzz about his probable resignation. To begin with, while Rupani has been touted as the BJP's quote-unquote proxy leader, he's also managed to survive more than a full term despite the Patidar agitation which had brought the BJP's popularity down by a notch in the state in the past few years. And although the agitation has quietened down to an extent, it hasn't been fully extinguished yet, and we even see a fresh revival in the run-up to the elections. But unlike the new Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, Rupani is from the Jain community, not a Patidar, Mr. Mahesh Langa points out. And that is seen to be the number one factor behind his resignation, as his candidature might impact the BJP's prospects in the upcoming elections. What it shows, Mr. Langa says, is the BJP is trying to realign with the dominant Patidar community ahead of the polls.
Well, I will not call it unexpected. It is no doubt sudden, but it was there in the pipeline, in the way that the party had been contemplating for quite a long to effect a change of guard in Gujarat, and also the fact that Rupani being a Jain in Gujarat, very numerically quite insignificant community. So he was a caste neutral person, and I think party leadership felt that it is better to realign with the dominant caste, that is Patidars, before the assembly election.
But beyond this politics of caste, COVID-19 too plays a big role in Rupani's exit. We've seen COVID mismanagement around the second wave impact the reputations of many of you chief ministers across India, and so has been the case with Rupani as well, with reports surfacing on several news portals alleging a gross undercounting of COVID-related deaths in the country. Even the Gujarat High Court rapped the state government over the lack of preparedness to face the pandemic and said that the government's handling of the pandemic was quote-unquote not satisfactory and transparent, end quote. And as Rupani's popularity steadily declined, a resignation seemed more probable than not. Mr. Langa says that Rupani's inability to inspire confidence in his leadership is as much a reason behind his resignation as is the BJP's keenness to reconfigure its leadership ahead of the Gujarat Assembly elections.
The BJP is reconfiguring, political system in the state. They will be facing crucial crucial assembly elections next year. And they feel that, with Mr. Rupani at the helm, that his leadership did not inspire confidence in the top leadership. Secondly, Mr. Rupani's tenure in the state and his governance style, his performance in the governance never matched the expectations that the High Command had of him. And his performance was quite lackluster, mishandling of both the, waves of COVID. And also, despite being in the chair for 5 years, he could never establish his hold over the system, over the administration. He could never get the grip of the administration. And in every single, event or measure, New Delhi had to guide him. New Delhi had to give him the direction and,
Another impossible to miss factor is that although Rupani himself is an unassuming leader, his bitter rivalry with Deputy CM Nitin Patel is public knowledge. Patel was among the top candidates for the CM post even in 2016 when Anandiben Patel was removed, but as we know, Rupani got the post. And after he got re-elected in the 2017 Gujarat elections, Patel had made his displeasure publicly known over the portfolio allocations. Rupani's differences with C.R. Patil was also seen to be deteriorating, with the former often putting him on the spot about his governance style. These political differences also indicated the fact that Rupani couldn't get a grip over the leadership that was given to him, Mr. Langa says. Moreover, Rupani was also viewed as a weak leader who was running the government with a coterie of Rajkot officials, which is where he's from.
He did not have cordial relations with the state party chief also. Secondly, he was always, seen as very mild, very weak personality. And also there were allegations that he ran the administration with a coterie of people from Rajkot, because he is from Rajkot. So, people and certain bureaucrats who earlier held postings in Rajkot had become quite powerful during his tenure, and that has also gone against him.
While many saw this ouster coming for Rupani, it's Bhupendra Patel's appointment that was a rather unexpected decision. He's not a known face compared to the other contenders for the post like Nitin Patel and Mansukh Mandaviya. What we do know about him is the fact that he's from the Patidar community and a protege of former Chief Minister Anandiben Patel, who's also previously served as the chairperson of the Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. While the Patidar factor is obviously one of the reasons behind picking Bhupendra Patel, what explains why some of the other potential candidates were overlooked for this post? Mr. Mahesh Langa weighs in.
I think party has effected a generational change in Gujarat now, because all senior leaders who were potential candidates, quite heavy, like Nitin Patel or Union Minister Mansukh Bhai, or Praful Patel, who is administrator of the union territories of Daman and Diu and Lakshadweep. So two factors were working. One was that whether to choose a sitting MLA or or a non-MLA. So when it came to choosing a sitting MLA, then I think the race got narrowed down to Nitin Patel, R.C. Faldu. And secondly, party felt that Nitin Patel has been in the government ever since BJP is in power. He handled most of the portfolios, in the state administration. But the fact that, he was very much part of the, government under Rupani, and that government did not perform as per the expectations of the High Command. So they kind of blamed him also, as much as they blamed Mr. Rupani. Secondly, this time Anandiben factor was working quite heavily, and that is what has tilted a balance in favor of Mr. Bhupendra Patel, because he had succeeded her as Ghatlodiya MLA. It was Anandiben who, when she vacated the seat, that seat was given to Bhupendra Patel. So I think this, Anandiben had a critical role to play this time, and she only prevailed on the party leadership and got a man of her choice as the Chief Minister of the state.
Now, in the past few months, we've seen the Bharatiya Janata Party shuffle the leadership in two other states, B.S. Yadurappa in Karnataka and Tirath Singh Rawat and Trivendra Rawat in Uttarakhand. Unlike the other national party, Congress, which hasn't been able to take decisive actions in Punjab, where its Chief Minister, Captain Amrinder Singh, is facing a lot of dissension, the BJP central leadership has been prompt about its responses at the hint of a trouble. What does it say about the party? What is the message here? Mr. Langa says that the message is on multiple levels. Firstly, it shows that caste will play a bigger role in BJP's politics. Secondly, whether they succeed or not, in the run-up to the next general election, the party hopes to dilute anti-incumbency against the centre with new faces in the state.
Well, I think it's a message at multiple level and at multiple, ways. One is that if you recall, in Gujarat, they had a caste-neutral person as Chief Minister, and now they have, after 5 years, they were forced to go back to the dominant caste. In Karnataka, though they removed a Lingayat leader, but they had to go back to another Lingayat leader to be Chief Minister. And secondly, in Uttarakhand again, they removed the Chief Minister, but again from the same community they picked up another person. So caste will, I think, play a bigger role now in days to come in BJP's scheme of things. And secondly, I think they know that centrally it's their second term that they are in power, and they are ruling pretty much half of the states of the country. So by bringing in fresh faces at state level, I think party wants to dilute anti-incumbency against the center. One has to see how they succeed, but whether they succeed in that or not. But primarily, it's also an exercise to dilute the anti-incumbency factor. Present, go to the electorate with new faces,
But when it comes to Indian politics, the real stakeholders, that is the Aam Janta, is often ignored amid such political gambles. Although the central leadership appears to have its ears on the ground and is seemingly responding to the dissatisfaction against Rupani 15 months ahead of the assembly polls, how much of this change is based on people's needs? Bhupendra Patel's predecessor Vijay Rupani was himself a lesser-known leader who came to the fore, and then he was touted as a proxy leader for the central leadership in the state. Is it likely to be the same way in Bhupendra Yadav's case?
Well, we'll have to see how the things unfold in next few months. How Mr. Patel shapes up, and whether he's able to take the control over the administration. Secondly, we'll also have to see, how cabinet formation happens, because most of the entire cabinet has resigned, and the buzz is that drastic changes are expected in the cabinet as well. That most of the senior ministers who have been in power for years are likely to be, dropped from the cabinet. So that and secondly, since I think he has only few months before the state goes in the election mode, he's taking over just 15 months ahead of the election. So, he will, even if he is able to kind of, start deciding independently, I think guidance or role of New Delhi will continue to be there. And in that way, I would not call it proxy, but I would say that yes, New Delhi will guide and direct the, will continue to guide and direct the administration in Gujarat.
And that's a wrap for this episode, but do check out the Quint's website for more analytical stories on the developments from Gujarat. If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.